you're looking for a what's on my iPhone video as an influencer, content creator, business owner, and entrepreneur, this video is for you. What's up, you guys? My name is Carly. Welcome back to my channel, or welcome if you're new here. Over on my corner of YouTube, you can find everything from business resources like how to start a podcast, how to use Notion, all the way to what it looks like in my weekly life as a full-time influencer. So if that sounds like something that you would be into, make sure to click the subscribe button down below, join our family, and hang out with me every single Monday and Friday. In today's video, I thought I would do an updated what's on my iPhone. You guys seem to love these videos, and I'm really excited to show you what my phone looks like as an influencer, content creator, business owner, and everything in between. So with that being said, let's get into the video. First things first, I have the newest iPhone, which I think is 13. It's iPhone 13. I have it in the pink version. As you can see, I don't have the Pro. It doesn't have the 3 little cameras. Really, at the end of the day, the Pro didn't come in pink, and I wanted it in pink. Opening my phone up, you can see my home screen here. I am not the person who really got into the whole iOS 14, maybe it was 12, I don't really remember, where you can do the aesthetic backgrounds and you can make things with widgets. I never really got into it because my screen works for me, but I want to show you guys some of my favorite apps, how my phone is set up, and stuff like that. And if you're looking for an aesthetics video, there are tons of them on YouTube. First things first, let's talk about the background. I have a quote on here. It says, "Trust your creativity," and I love it so much because it really does remind me to trust my creativity as an influencer and a content creator. Something that I find about backgrounds is when you have it for a long time, you don't really notice. You don't look at it and register, oh yes, this is what the background is like. And that's actually why I like to put it as a quote, because as many times as I read it, my subconscious is always registering it. So it's almost like a little bit of an affirmation every time I open my phone to trust my creativity. Now, speaking of affirmations, you've probably noticed a lot of my folders are actually affirmations. I saw a viral tweet where the CEO talked about how she made her phone apps affirmations and how it worked with her subconscious to make sure that she was affirming things to herself like she was healthy, or she was wealthy, or she was thriving. And I thought to myself, I love that, so I copied it. On my phone, I have affirmation apps such as I am social, I am connected, I am productive, I am healthy, I am wealthy, I am thriving, I am fed, I am secure, I am desired, I am traveling, I am beautiful, I am safe, and I am home. Now, obviously, if you're not a big affirmations person, you don't have to do it like this, but this is just how it's set up on my phone. Opening the I am social tab, it is very self-explanatory. We have Instagram, we have Facetune, and we also have this app called Duo Mobile. Back in the summer of last year, I actually was hacked on TikTok, and they tried to hack me on Instagram as well as in my email. However, I actually have this two-factor authentication app called Duo Mobile where they give you a new code every single 30 seconds or something like that, and you have to have that code to then get into Instagram. It's a free app. I would totally recommend downloading it if you have anything on your phone that you don't want to lose. Next up, we have the I am connected page. This is essentially all of my social media. I have Facebook, Facebook Messenger, Pinterest, YouTube, Twitter, my podcast app, TikTok, Clubhouse, and Snapchat. Another one that you might not know, or maybe you know, or maybe you just don't use it, is Clubhouse. Clubhouse really took the world by storm this time last year, January 2021. Everyone and their mom wanted to be on Clubhouse. And the simplest way that I would describe Clubhouse is like one big phone call. Now, some of you might be like, no, done for me. I don't even like to call my doctor, and I totally get you. Maybe Clubhouse isn't for you. I more so tap into the rooms that are about meditation or sound baths or pop culture, Real Housewives, those kinds of things, because now I kind of use this app less as a business or part of my business and more as a way to relax and unwind. Next up, we have the extras tab. This is essentially all of the extras in my phone that I don't really know where to put in a folder, so they got their own called extras. In here, I have my contacts, calendar, clock, weather, maps, notes. I have my Google Calendar, FaceTime, as well as my calculator. As you can see, I have 2 calendar apps in here, and that's because the top calendar app, the one that comes with the iPhone, is the app that I use the most to actually visually look at dates. So if I'm ever planning things, or I'm like, oh, what day is the 16th? I will open that calendar versus my Google Calendar because my Google Calendar is attached to my business. My Google Calendar is the calendar that I live and die by. It has everything on it. As you can see, it's a little bit overwhelming, but it really does make sense to me. On here, I have everything from doctor's appointments to meetings to team meetings to haircuts. Everything like that goes on my Google Calendar, and I really like it because it obviously syncs across the whole Google platform, so I can log into it with my phone or my desktop or my laptop. I can always have access to my Google Calendar. Next up, we have I Am Productive. The next 2 apps I have on here are both mail apps. This mail app right here is the one that comes with iPhone. I know you can log into your Gmail, you can log into your Hotmail, your Yahoo, any of those things with this mail app. However, I prefer having the actual Gmail app because it just works better for me. I also really like to have it separate because I do have an old personal Hotmail email that I log in through my Mails app, and then I have my personal Gmail as well as my work Gmail. Next up, we have I Am Healthy. This is a folder that has a lot of stuff in it. Normally, I really don't like having folders that have scrollability because I like to have everything just on the front page, but I have a lot of I Am Healthy apps and I'd love to go through them for you guys. These necessarily aren't business related apps, but they are apps that help my mental health, or my physical health, and my emotional well-being, and that actually helps me to be a better influencer, entrepreneur, business owner because I'm not stressed out, I'm not burnt out, and I'm not struggling so that I can do better in my business. Going through these, I have the Apple Fitness app, I have this app called Horoscope, Way of Life, The Moon, Headspace, Pattern, Interval Timer, Lumosity, and Mirror. Up here on the top left is the Apple Fitness app. This will track things like my calories, my exercise minutes, the amount of time that I've stood, as well as I can connect with all of my friends who also have Apple Watches, and we can compete, we can compare, and I can also see all of their real-time stats. Next up, I have this app called Way of Life, and this app is truly life-changing for me, and I cannot recommend it enough. If you are the kind of person who struggles to create habits and struggles to create goals and hit them over and over, Way of Life might be a really good app for you. I originally got it because I read a lot into red and green psychology, which is essentially what Way of Life helps you with. Obviously, green equals good and red equals bad. Every single day you click off this box if you did it or if you did not, and the more you start using it, the more you start to form the habit because your brain is saying, hey, green is good, red is bad, we want to do green more often. I use this to track my morning routine, which includes things like exercise and reading and manifesting and meditating, as well as my water, because I've really been trying to drink 4 liters of water a day and I'm kind of struggling with it. As you can see, my 4 liters did not make it, so we're trying to turn those reds to green. Next up, we have Headspace. I have tried all of the meditating apps and I constantly come back to Headspace and I love it. I'm the type of person who meditates as part of my morning routine, and if you'd like to see my updated morning routine, please let me know in a comment below because I would love to do that for you guys. I love to meditate every single day. I will wake up, I will meditate, and then I will move on with the rest of the day. It is literally the first thing that I do as soon as I leave my bedroom in the morning. Like I said, I love Headspace the most because it does have guided meditations, but it also does have courses, singles, it has mindful movement, it has focus, it has sleep, there's meditation for children, and it also too does track your stats. You can create a habit day over day, and it really helps to contribute to a better state of my own mental health. Next up is Lumosity. This, like Headspace, is another app that I live and die by. I have been playing Lumosity for years on and off, and I am so obsessed. So if you guys are unfamiliar, Lumosity is a brain games app. Essentially, you play these games and you become smarter. They test things like speed, attention, flexibility, math, language, and so much more, and you can actually see your stats and your progress time over time, as well as how you stack up to other people and your percentile in each of the categories. Lumosity does have a free version, and I've used that for most of the time. I recently just upgraded to the paid version at the beginning of the year. The big differences are you don't have a lot of access to the comparison of you versus other people, and you can only play 3 out of 5 games a day. But if you are like me and you want to really be on the brain game games, the paid version is full access. You play 5 games a day and you have a lot more insight. On this next page, we have Quip, Health, BetterHelp, Dimensional, and SnoreLab. This next app is BetterHelp, and if you've watched any of the vlogs in Vlogmas, you guys know I'm a big mental health advocate, and I have been using BetterHelp for a while. I'm currently not using it because I am going to in-person therapy, but all of 2021, I was using BetterHelp weekly for the entire year. Next up, we have the I Am Wealthy tab. This is essentially all of my banking. We have Mojo, CI Direct Investing, and Neo. Mojo is actually a credit score tracking app. This is the one that I got because Credit Karma and stuff like that wasn't actually available in Canada for a while. So Mojo is a Canadian credit score app, and I used that for the longest time to check my credit score. Now I pay for the Equifax and the TransUnion monitoring. But if you guys are looking at getting into financial literacy and understanding where your credit score is at, Mojo is a great free app for that. Next up, I have CI Direct Investing. For me personally, I'm self-employed, so I don't have the avenues to set up an RRSP through my employer or through my business. So I actually had to set up a personal RRSP. And for you guys who are in America, the RRSP equivalent is a IRA. So either way, both of them are saving for retirement. I know that you can go through your bank. I know that you can go through a bunch of different avenues news, but I actually really like CI. I like the returns that I've got. It's very easy. They take out fees every single month to manage my portfolio, but they invest it. I just send the money and they do the rest. The bottom three here are Wealthsimple, as well as ATV Personal and ATV Business. This is another personal bank account as well as my incorporated business bank account. Wealthsimple is the app that I'm currently using to kind of get into investing. Investing is something that I do want to learn more of this year, but it's really not something that I'm super familiar with. As you can see, I own like 3 stocks. I just kind of had money to play around with. So I tossed it in there to see how the app worked. Like I said, investing and stocks is something I want to get more into in the future, so maybe this tab will grow. Next up, we have I Am Thriving. This is mostly business things. So we have Slack, Shopify, Canada Post, Dex, Drive, Notion, invoicing, my Rogers, as well as Docs. Next up, we have Shopify. I do actually own an e-commerce clothing line, so this is where I can check all of what's going on behind the scenes on my phone versus on my desktop. Next up is this app called Dex. I actually use this app with my accountant, so I just scan my receipts and my accountant will go through and she will bookkeep every month and she will write off things for my taxes through this app. It works the best rather than trying to keep all of my physical receipts and then somehow get them to my accountant. Next up is this invoicing app from Wave. I personally use Wave for all of my invoicing for my personal, my sole proprietorship, as well as my incorporation. I love it. Having this on here as well is a quick reference because you can't create new invoices on this app, but I can reference all of the invoices that are currently available. I can also send them if I need to. It's just nice to have it on the go. So if I get a check or if I get a payment, I can just cross it off, mark it as paid on the app versus waiting to get home and maybe forgetting. Next up, we have I Am Safe. Remember when I was telling you how I got hacked and I went a little bit overboard? I guess not even overboard with cybersecurity. That is in this folder. So I have LastPass here, which remembers all of my passwords and is protected by one master password, and I use it for everything. It's actually replaced my keychain. I also have ExpressVPN on here because if I ever want to browse the internet, I want to change my time zone, I just want to be safe on the internet, it's always smart to use a VPN. The last folder on here is I Am Home. Ember is the mug that I am obsessed with. If you've watched any of my Vlogmas videos, my mom got it for me for Christmas, and essentially is a smart mug that keeps your liquid exactly the temperature that you want it to be. I'm a big tea drinker. I drink tea all of the time, so having that Ember mug has really been life-changing for me. Swiping over to the next page, you can probably see I just have 4 random apps on here. Don't really know where to put these. I'm sure I could probably figure it out, but I do also like having this almost blank page where I can swipe over, that if I had a quote that was a little bit higher or a full image that I wanted to see, I could see it versus having all of my apps cover it. The apps that are on here are Voice Memos, ePark, LinkedIn, and Reddit. Down at the bottom, I have my just regular apps, which are music, my text, Safari, and my phone. And that brings us to the end of what's on my iPhone. I really hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, make sure to give it a big thumbs up and leave a comment telling me your favorite iPhone app. I'm always on the hunt for new ones, so I would love to know yours. Before you go, make sure to subscribe to the channel. Like I said, I post videos every single Monday and Friday, from things like how to start a podcast, how to use Notion, to things like influencer weeks of my life, behind the scenes, and so much more. I would absolutely love to have you guys on here, so make sure to click that subscribe button, join the family, and I will see you on Friday for a week in my life. Bye!
Entertainment.